what's going on, everyone? Adam the Movie Hunter is back again. Well, I'm not really back. I'm actually on vacation. So this was recorded a couple of days ago. But if I had a moment, I figured I would just put it up because I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist doing more 80 movies. It's bottom line. This isn't a hunt. It's not a haul. It's the number 26's. Yep, they're all number 26. So I have about, I don't know, 26 movies to show you, and guess what? They're number 26 through 26. What I mean by that is they all could be number 26. You know, I just did my top 25 80s movies for Tim Talk Talkies, and I, like I said, wasn't going to do honorable mentions because I had too many of them. Bottom line, I pulled out too many movies. So instead of putting them away, I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you guys what made number 26, number 26, 26, you know, change out any one of them for number 26. So, make it funny. These are the leftovers, the honorable mentions, the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Pretty much any one of these movies could have been number 25, could have been 20, could have been 18, could have been 12. They're all great. That's the problem. The 80s have so many good movies. So hopefully this is just more of an inspiration for you, the guys and gals that have not done your top 25 yet for Tim, and you're struggling, you're going through like, what movie did I forget? And what about this movie? And oh my gosh. So these are the 26's. You know, maybe you'll move one into your top 25. Maybe you'll take one out of your top 25. Who knows? So these are going to be in any order. I'm not going to sit here and give you like everything about the movie, and I love this movie about this and this. Maybe one or two that pulls on the heartstring or something. But you know, just gonna go through and show these off for you real quick. Again, VHS, probably some Blu-rays, maybe a DVD, like all of it. But I mainly focused on the VHS. These two videos because the 80s were VHS. You know, that's what was there. That's what we watched them on. And the great cover art at the Blockbuster, at the Hollywood Videos, at your Mom and Pops, at your Family Video, I think it was called back there in the East. You know, all the different video stores, bottom line. So I was lucky enough to be able to shop at Hollywood Video and Blockbuster as a kid. I had both cards and went back and forth watching these things. Well, mainly Blockbuster. I think more early 90s was the Hollywood Video. But anyways, there's more to talk about the movies. First, Rambo 2, First Blood. This one, great. Look at this. Look at that cover art. Ugh. So, Rambo had to make it. Can't have my number 26's without Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid, this was like my favorite Disney movie forever. Probably still is. Top 3. Probably even number 1. Ariel's my favorite Disney princess. So, I won't lie. The wife will admit that too. Just one of the guys. You know I love this movie. Of course, it's going to be there in this pile. Could have been in the top 25. So, Terry in top. There we go. Just one of the guys. Oh, this went back and forth. Purple Rain. Purple Rain. I mean, I know it's a music movie biopic. I don't know what do you want to call this thing, but Purple Rain. This was just should have been there. Could have been there. Would have been there. Almost was 25, but it's 26. Now, I put a Friday the 13th in the top 25, part 4. But the number one, the first one ever, this has to be in the honorable mention pile. Has to be number 26, because look at this. This is where it started. I mean, it's a good movie, and it's the only movie without Jason, right, as the killer. Spoiler alert. So it set the tone for the whole series, and it's boom, number 26. Now, this one's for Derek, convicted cinephile. He's like, what? No clowns? And I'm like, it's number 26, Derek. It's 26. So, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yep, it's in the pile. Gotta have it. Gotta have some killer clowns. Not everyone's into killer clowns. It's a little cheesy. I get it, but it's freaking awesome. So this one could have been a top 10, but I couldn't win all horror. So The Thing. This one, Kurt Russell. Oh my lord, the practical effects. Oh my lord, The Thing. So great movie, and this I still love this steelbook. It's pretty basic, but I just love it, especially because of this scene. You know how that happens in the movie and stuff. But next, number 26 will be Gremlins. We'll just ignore this. You know, I just have the basic 2-pack still. I haven't upgraded to a steelbook or a 4K or anything. Just the basic Gremlins is enough for me. You know, I used to just watch it on the slip case. I think I saw my snapper case. I mean, DVD. So this was good enough upgrade. Gremlins. Put that right there. Caddyshack. Now you may notice some of these are going to be from the thumbnail. It was a surprise that was coming from my last video. The ones that you're like, oh, those are good movies, but none of those movies were in my video. And that's because they're in this one. Caddyshack. I have a couple of VHS. I think this was the first release that came out, so I just love this combination. You know, that's great. So you can't. Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, and Dan are in Rodney Dangerfield. Just those three in the movie are just so good together. Lost Boys. Yeah, I like it. I like Lost Boys, but those other 25 were better. So this was number 26, you know, for me. Lost Boys coming in strong. I mean, just one off from the 25s. We got Predator. Oh, this I couldn't. So it's back and forth, back and forth. That's why I did my list, because I'm like, if I sit here and keep doing my list, you should see how many versions I had of it, crossing out stuff, and it was so hard. Predator, you're there. You're coming in. You guys know a number. Critters. You guys know I love my Critters. Couldn't leave Critters out. You know, definitely an honorable mention. This movie is more for me. I don't even know if you guys even know about this movie. It goes by a different name. Was it like Frog Jumper or Frog something? In like the Australian area or the UK, you know. But The Quest is how we watched it, what we remember it as. The dude, Henry Thomas, right? Yeah, from E.T., he's the little boy star. I used to think there's one thing I will talk about this for a second. I used to think this, I don't know, spoil it, but the thing in the lake, I used to think it was a monster. And I remembered this movie so differently. Like, I remembered it, but then when I rewatched it again, when I found this, I was like, that wasn't a monster. That was I don't want to spoil it, but The Quest. So, Frog Dreaming. I think it's Frog Dreaming. Something like that. But it has a Blu-ray. I already have Kino. Kino put it out. So if you really want to watch an upgraded version, yes, just get the Blu-ray that's out. I have it in there, but the VHS of The Quest? Come on. Come on. Of course I'm going to go that route. We got more, baby. We got 26. Conan, you know, and this one's the Barbarian, not the Destroyer, because Barbarian is the one that I grew up with loving. They're both great. They're both kick-ass movies, but that was the better of the two for me. I get the other one's more of the origin, but and this one's from my buddy Bobby. Jaws 3. Spoiler alert. Well, for 80's, this is my favorite Jaws movie. I mean, because Jaws is from the 70s. But I do enjoy Jaws 3 more as like watching the movie than Jaws. So it doesn't mean that I love Jaws 3 more than Jaws. I like watching this one more. I like Jaws, the movie Jaws, still as a whole. That's like a great, iconic movie. But this one, I just have so much fun with. I just love watching this one. Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. at SeaWorld. and the 3D shark, because this one was supposed to be, it's in 3D, but I always watched it in 2D, but it just was always stupid fun. I just love the SeaWorld Jaws. It's my favorite watch. It's my favorite Jaws to watch. So when that comes on 4K, that I will be getting right away day one. That's no brainer for me. Over the top. I just picked this up, that $5 Blu-ray. I don't even know where it's at, but from Best Buy. I couldn't believe I didn't have this upgraded, and I was like, "What? Over the top? This is number 26 on my list." I mean, arm wrestling. Everybody went out arm wrestling anybody when you watch this movie. Even to this day, I'm sure adults watch it. They go out, "You want to arm wrestle? You want to? Let's go." Like, it's just when you watch it, it's what you do. The Princess Bride. Come on. I mean, The Princess Bride. It's... I love it. It's a great one. Like I say, I'm going down memory lane too much with these movies, so I've got to keep going. You know what? I did have Conan the Destroyer right there, so I'll throw it in. I mean, I had Harry and the Hendersons out that I didn't put up. I had Flight of the Navigator out that I didn't put up. Here's two more right here. These two could be in. Loverboy, that should have made the list. That's why it's number 26. And then for my fellow doctors out there, Spies Like Us. I mean, not the most popular, but for me, this was great. This was more of the serious comedies versus just your slapstick stupid stuff. You had to be more of an adult to watch this, even though I was a kid watching this and loving it, which is weird. I don't know why, but the doctor scene has stuck with me forever. So hopefully you guys get it now. If you watch this movie, like my buddy Holland, finally somebody gets the doctor, and Fish. I think a few others, but doctor, and mainly with my fellow Fish and Holland right now. So rest of you guys got to get on board. Join the club. Now, see, there was the Blu-ray right there. You already seen that. Oh, and just like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street is going to make the cut too. It's going to make the first one, because it set the tone. Johnny Depp, like, cool stuff in this movie. Still love it, but it wasn't my favorite Nightmare. And part 2, not for me. Like the role reversed with the guy being... Okay, I don't want to get deep with part 2, but watch the documentary about Nightmare on Elm Street, and it'll explain a lot for part 2. Lethal Weapon, that had to make it, right? Lethal Weapon, fucking Riggs and Murtaugh, come on. Great. Oh, and what do we got? Gleaming the Cube. I'm pretty sure this was 89. Yep, 89. So just made the cut. Skateboarding. Anybody to watch this want to go skateboard? Just like if you watched Rad, you want to ride a bike. Luckily, I did try to ride a skateboard, and I actually broke my arm. First time I think I ever broke a bone. No, never mind. Kindergarten. Broke that same bone. But skateboarding down a hill, thinking I'm freaking gleaming the cube, baby. And yeah, that didn't work. Funny story too with that is my mom made me sit with a broken arm in the house for about 4 to 5 hours until it turned completely purple. And I just couldn't move it. And she finally said, "Let's go." So yeah, don't break your arms if you don't have medical insurance. Spaceballs. This one, classic, iconic, parody, spoof movie, what do you want to call it? It's got to have some Spaceballs in the club, or in the, the list. And this isn't even a list. These are the 26's. These are the honorable mentions. The ones that just couldn't make the cut. Meatballs. To be honest, Meatballs, I like Meatballs Part 2 a little bit more, but this one's still great. This one I still enjoyed. It's Bill Murray, really, that makes the movie. But Meatballs, not a lot of talk about this one anymore. Not a lot of people show Meatballs. They need to re-release that soon, like a 4K, or a Blu-ray box set of all of them. Because, Meatballs, I think it's 4 with Corey Feldman. It's dumb, but it's still watchable. And it's the one that in part 3 nobody ever talks about either. But 2 is the best with beep beep, like the alien dude that comes with the kids, and The Raincoat. So it's fun. This was one of my favorite movies ever growing up, and it should be one of yours from the 80s. Whitewater Summer. Kevin Bacon at his best. Sean Astin too. I mean, those two in this movie killed it. Like, the chemistry was awesome. Whitewater Summer. If you've never seen it, watch that one. Can't Buy Me Love. Can't Buy Me Love. Oh boy, this one is another great classic, iconic, just 80s. Just screams 80s. You know, that's why it's number 26. Couldn't leave out my man, Leslie Nielsen, Little Naked Gun. I love all of them, but this is the best one. I still, because my kid's in baseball, you know, I'm at baseball fields all the time. So the umpire scene, you know, where he's the umpire and just doing all the moves, we still all do all that. When I actually was, maybe I can find, one day I'll throw it in. Well, it won't make sense later, but I used to umpire a little bit with my oldest son when he was younger and the little guys. So when I put the gear on and stuff, I always wanted to do that, but I don't think the little kids would have appreciated it, or their parents wouldn't have. But it would have been fun. Fletch, like Fletch, it's super fun. This I think is, well, yeah, I like Fletch more than Fletch Lives. I think it's Fletch Lives. I think it's part 2. I know it's not Fletch 2. It's like something like that. But this is Chevy Chase's probably best role ever, besides Clark Griswold. You know, it's Fletch. So if you like Chevy and you haven't seen Fletch, you definitely should watch it. And yes, it made number 26, Top Gun. The more and more, it's just, this is so saturated now. Like, I've seen so much Top Gun, so it's like kind of falling down the list for me. That's why it made 26. But it's still iconic 80s. You know, you gotta have Top Gun. You know, the need for, I mean, with Maverick and Goose and just flying around the jets, and just, you needed it in there. Just like you needed some dancing, a little Swayze, a little dirty dancing. You know, you don't put Baby in the Corner, and you can't leave it off the list. Can't leave it off the number 26 list. They're all 26, so you know, all the honorable mentions. The final 3. I think we're down to the final 3. Yes. Iron Eagle. This was my Top Gun, as I've mentioned before. I could not leave it out. You know, this was this. Hopefully, if you were like cool kid, yeah, I'm just kidding. Hopefully, you just watched this movie when you were younger, because it's hard to beat Iron Eagle. Like, for me, it's really good. This was from a bro. It was my brother, Howard the Duck. I mean, I like it too now, more, but this was my, like, literally when we first watched Howard the Duck on pay-per-view. We rented it on pay-per-view. My mom let us splurge one day. We watched it. We recorded it, and then we still rented it again for some reason. I think we like literally re-rented it and watched it back because the tape, I can't remember, was it rewound or we didn't record? I mean, we didn't hit the record buttons. We had to rewatch. Like, Chad, do you remember? Did we have to re-buy it and record it the second time because we didn't record it the first time? Because, you know, we ended up having it on the tape, the 3-movie tape. So my bro will remember. Comment below. But Howard the Duck, great movie. And finally, and now I get this movie so much more as a parent. When I watched it, I was a child, so I did not understand parenthood. Now that I'm a parent of 2 teenagers and a young guy going on teenage years, this movie just means it makes way more sense. It was so good too. This was like a comedy for Ron Howard knew how to do it, but he makes a good movie. But a comedy for adults, it's comedy for kids. It's something everybody could watch. You know, family fun. 80's is family fun. It's not all raunchy. It's not all gore. It's not all that. I mean, in the 80's, everybody was watching these things. We were all having fun watching movies as families, friends. You know, everybody this brought people together. So it was a simpler time, a better time for me. It's why we're doing the honorable mention of all these awesome, great movies. Couldn't leave them out. Just couldn't do it. And there's too many right now because, like, you saw my debacle the other night, so we're not gonna get crazy. So we're gonna do the super shiny money shot with the the little ones. We're gonna trickle that onto you first, a little dribble, and then we're gonna get a little heavy flow. We're getting too much with this. We're gonna do this first one, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need a break. What? You got more? Let's do the second money shot. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. So that's what we got. That's what we got. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, look at this. I have too much fun with this stuff. All right, so that's it. This is probably longer than the first video because I was having more fun, I guess, because there's a lot more movies to show you, and there's no rules to this video. This is my own randomness. So if you got a lot of extras, a lot of like, man, the 80s were awesome, I gotta show you some more movies, put them up. Make your number 26 list. And comment, like, subscribe below, share away, hit the bells, do all the fun stuff, that we all, appreciate you doing. So I appreciate you watching, coming back for more. I can't wait to do more, but I'm going to be, again, gone for a couple days on vacation. I'll see if I can find me a diamond in the desert. So cross my fingers. I'm not going out to hunt, but if I'm going to another state, I'm going to find a store that has a movie. Sorry, Johnny. My wife already knows. If you're watching, she already knows I'm a hunter, and I'm going to, even if in a Walmart, I'm going to step into that area. So she's on to me too about those, I'm going to go check this, or I'm going to go pick that up real quick in those other aisles. So they're on to us, guys. Just be upfront with them. Just tell them, I'm going to go look at the movies. It's much easier. So that's it. That's all I got. Hope you guys like these movies, because I know I do. Later.